right? And I keep on saying that my money story or my wealth story met with my wife, or when I met my wife, because when I met her, I feel it's actually the time I really got to discover who I was. I got to discover what I could do, the kind of contribution I could bring to the world, the kind of dent I could really just, bring into this ecosystem, called life. And I think that particular story is the story that is basically more important. So my story, in short, just a typical boy that grew up in a beautiful place called Thapelo. It's a really big township, 50 kilometers east of Bloemfontein. And obviously I went to school there. I grew up in Thapelo, went to school there, and came to Bloem a little bit later, obviously, for the higher, centers of education are really in Bloem if you live in places like Thapelo. So my first qualification was an E-Tech software engineering diploma. So I thought I was going to be a computer programmer. Yeah, I thought I was going to be a computer programmer. All right.
I know B-Tech.
Yeah. So there's
which one is E-Tech?
Electronics. So the technology.
Why are you guys laughing? I'm asking. But if you don't know something, you must ask.
Yeah. So it's the e-technology software engineering diploma, because at some point, believe it or not, I wanted to be a computer programmer, right?
Was this a CUT?
No. So it was at a private FET that we have. I think it was called NIIT at the time, National Institute of Information Technology. And so after I did this particular program, I go and teach IT in a school in Stexbreed, for 2 years. So this is 2004, 2005. And 2005, I'm like, I'm not really fulfilled as a teacher. I love teaching, but I'm not really fulfilled over here, right? So long story short, I get an opportunity to, go and do lecturing in Kimberley. And this is really where stuff, began to happen for me. So when I'm there, I go and join a big church, a local church. I'm over there. I've always been a singer at church. I've always been a church boy all my life. And then at church, at rehearsal, one Thursday evening, I'm busy doing my own thing, and I'm, there's a voice behind me. And I'm like, no, there's no way this girl is speaking this beautiful Sotho. She's not coming from this place. And, that particular night, I get to, speak to her. And I realized that she's really also a Free Stater, come from the Free State. And we just hit it off. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at this particular girl. I'm like, this girl is out of my league. There's no way this girl, likes the kind of guy like me. There's no way.
Qualify.
I don't qualify. Like, I don't qualify. Right. So at that point in time, I knew that she was really out of my league. And so I didn't really know how low of a self-esteem I had at that point in time until that moment, until that particular moment, because that particular moment when she was sitting in front of me, or standing in front of me rather, I didn't realize how just lowly I thought of myself. And because the first thing that came into my mind was like, there's no way that this kind of girl would love somebody like me, right? People don't know the story, but, for 4 weeks, this girl really liked me. She really liked me. And I could tell she likes me because the following, she wanted to spend time with me. And I'm like, there's no way, man. There's like no way. Girls like this, girls like this don't do, they don't do anything with guys like us. Like, you know what I mean? So it was really just my trauma. I really, at that point in time, I had a very low, complex. I think I really, the inferiority complex was really rife. But four weeks later, I'm now at a point where I'm like, girl, I love you. I love you. I've enjoyed spending time with you. I want you to be my wife. But there are a lot of things that I need to fix in my life in order for that to actually happen, right? So first, I need to go speak to your mother, right? Because I understand that your mother is expectant that, my daughter would bring a man someday and, who's going to become a husband. But I need to go speak to her that I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, but it requires me to be a different person. I can't feature in your future as the man I am right now. And that particular man I knew at that point in time that really needed to go back to school a little bit. Really needed to go work on
from E-Tech to B-Tech now.
Yeah. Now. So it's from E-Tech to BCom now.
To BCom. Okay.
So it's E-Tech to BCom now, right? And I went to go speak to a mom, and I said to her mom, I love your daughter. I want to spend the rest of my life with her, but I really feel that I needed to do a couple of things. So I need to go back to university to go and do 2 university degrees. And I really believe that if you can give me 5 years, I can really give her, the life of her dreams. And her mom says to me, I don't know you from above soap, but I really believe in the man, that you are saying, right now. And for that, just that, right? So I tell people all the time, when I was at the University of the Free State, I don't even know where, all this places where young people go to. I don't even know those kind of places, because all I was thinking about at that point in time was I needed to finish this university degree. I needed to finish with school because I had a goal that was waiting for me, right? I had a goal that was waiting for me, right? So even to this day, I don't even know where your rec farms are. I hear all of these things that people talk about at the varsity.
You never grooved?
I never grooved.
Hey, she disciplined you, man.
No,
Continue.
It's sad, bro. It's sad. So I was so serious that at the end of my first year, I was chosen. I was literally, invited to the Golden Key International Honor Society, after my first year. That's how serious I was with school. So I was in the top 15% of the academic achievers of my department. I was that guy. I was really very nerdy, and I really became that particular guy. So long story short, 5 years.
Had you been that guy before you met your wife?
I always think that I was that guy. But she just brought that person alive.
Let me rephrase the question.
Yeah.
Were you an A student with potential?
No.
Yes. So
no. So I'm glad to clarify that. Which I've always known that I'm a C student, man. I'm a C student. I'm really a C student with A+ personality.
And she's always been an A student.
She's always been an A student.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're so right. So she's an A student. I'm a C student with A+ personality, right? And so 5 years come, things begin to happen for me. I married Mampoi the 30th of November 2013. Yeah. This was 2013 when I married her, and I made her my wife. I took her to Mauritius.
How old are you at that point?
I'm 27. I think at that time I'm 27. I'm 27. I take her to Mauritius. I think our wedding, it really cost me a lot of money, but because I promised her that these are the things that I wanted to do for her. So I married her in November that particular year. That very same year, we went to Mauritius for our honeymoon. And we bought our first property that very same year. 2013 was the year that we bought our very first property. That was us. And at that point in time, I come in, we've bought all of these things. She comes from a different, background. Her mom taught her that, every single thing that you want, you've got to make sure that you save for it, and so that you can buy it. I come from a background where my mother taught us that, if you can afford to make an installment every single month, we can pay for this thing. So I want to buy furniture, with credit. I want to buy every single thing for the house and whatever. And she says no, right? So even at that point in time, I'm now learning, right? I'm learning that yes, we're making these big moves, but now our modeling, because our programming is really just in line with with 3 things: verbal programming, what we heard, modeling what we saw, and specific incidents in our lives. So my modeling was that my mom was the dominant person where finances are concerned, right? So sure. I wanted to buy every single thing, via credit. But my wife was like, there's no way we're doing that.
Bretlos.
Bretlos. We're those guys. We're those guys. We're the guys that know Venia Bretlos. We literally know all of those things.